gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta.
Ladies and gentlemen, we back at it. Episode 3.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you feeling over there, Stacks?
Hey, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling sensational.
Ooh, I
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Sensational, sensational. Channeling in the future over there, I see. Hey, man, listen, we got to talk about week 4, man. I mean, it just,
It was interesting, sort of, kind of.
it,
It
I don't
was
even
like,
know.
yeah.
I don't even know if interesting is the right word. I would say definitely subpar. It was not. We listen. I'm man enough to admit when I'm in the wrong, and I would definitely say we definitely hyped up this last week, and it just was not what it was supposed to be. And we're gonna get into some of that later on in the episode, but man, it was not a great week of college football. I mean,
Well, I mean, I
you
won't say it wasn't a great week. I just say it was unexpected because it was still some
okay?
good
I can rock with
football
that.
here and there. It just wasn't what we expected. You know.
Okay. Anyway, let's let's go to Tallahassee, Stacks. Let's go to Tallahassee. Florida State, number 4, Florida State versus Clemson. Uh, this game was what's the best way to put it? On a rating from 1 to 10, it was about a 6 or 7 to say the least. I mean, you got a good game between some ACC foes. Jordan Travis, K. Klubnik did what they were supposed to do, but this game went into overtime, right?
Right, right.
And
So good
so,
game.
yeah, and that's why I give it a 6 or 7 because the overtime was a little exciting, but it's funny. It's funny because that was probably the only exciting part of the game wasn't going into overtime.
Well,
So
I think we both got two different definitions of exciting. I guess for me, you know, as long as you got some good football, as far
yeah,
as you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody blowing nobody out for the most part, type of thing.
yeah,
You know, that's good football to me. That's exciting to me. I don't want
exactly,
to see Joker
exactly.
score 100 points, and you know,
Uh, Listen here, but the game did have a lot of storylines in it. One being kicker Jonathan White's. He was a red shirt coming in to kick for Clemson this weekend. I mean, this past weekend, and he missed. He missed one of his
yeah.
kicks. Oh my god! As a kicker, that's probably one of the. A lot of people say it's an easy job, but people
I
don't realize.
I'm about to say I disagree. I
It's
disagree.
not.
Kick it. You say all you got to do is kick a ball. You
Mm-mm.
come in there when it is crunch time, and
Ooh,
it's
man.
quiet. It's like, I mean, in my opinion, being a kicker is a tough situation. You
Yeah.
gotta have some thick skin and some ice in your veins.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know,
For sure. And I mean, dude, I just don't understand how people can truly say like kickers are, like you guys just kick it through the uprights. But man, when you get that ice to kicker moment and you freeze up again with all those people in that stadium, it's dude, it gets terrifying.
I mean, you gotta think about it. You got that on your mind. You got the
Yeah,
wind. You got the people trying to block it. I mean, there's a
man,
lot
it's a
that
lot.
goes into kicking, man. I mean,
Oh
it
yeah,
ain't just kicking through the uprights. I mean, because if the wind is 100 miles an hour, you gotta kick a certain way for that thing to come back. I mean, it's a little bit of science and some
yeah.
math involved in that thing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey,
All right, yeah. But hey, listen here. I mean, listen. For us to be his first game back, he did okay. I do hate ESPN for the commentators jinxing him before the kick, but then they showed his parents in the suites right after he missed the kick. I was like, dude, that was the worst thing you could have possibly did was show that man's parents.
well, I mean, you know how it goes,
I
man.
know it's just bringing
I
the
don't know
drama.
not one kicker that when they on live TV they gonna talk about it. They gonna say, well, what if he misses it? I mean, he could miss it and this happens.
Oh, it was
Or
terrible.
my favorite one, he hasn't missed a kick all year. Why
It
would you say
missed.
that in that moment? And now I'm gonna miss it because now I'm thinking about. Well, I ain't missed one all year. You know what I'm saying? So it's,
Right.
I mean, it's a tough job, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why you play the game. You got to capitalize on your miscues because
Oh
they're
yeah.
gonna be some. I haven't seen nobody play perfect football, especially this season. So
One hundred
you
percent.
know,
And again, listen, we are definitely gonna get into this later on in the episode because that is gonna be one of our key topics later on. Just about the play going on within the season. But man, let's talk about this quarterback matchup: Jordan Travis versus K Klubnik. Jordan Travis, 289 yards, two touchdowns, 21 for 37. Dude, Jordan Travis is a solid QB, man. I mean, I don't understand if there's hate towards him. Listen, it needs to be stopped because Jordan Travis is a solid QB. I mean, he's pretty much taken over this Seminoles team. I mean, honestly, they were underdog for me at the beginning of the season. Florida State was just, I just felt something about Florida State, and I mean, they've taken a lot in the past years. They've been on that decline, but for them to be in the top four right now, bro, I was like, dude, this is definitely what Florida State needs
right?
because this is only going to take their recruiting to the next level. And when they start bringing in those studs, like more studs than what they have now, bro, Florida State is going to be a force. It's going to
Well,
be a
yeah, I mean
force
that program is already historic.
for sure.
Florida State, the whole state of Florida, to be honest with you, sells itself from Florida to Miami to Florida State. It really is just a matter of which one
Mm-hmm.
you rocking with the most. So uh, it's nice to see them back, getting their fire back. It's definitely nice to see that because I know they were right there at some points, and then
Mm-hmm.
of course Florida had its time, and then back in the day, Florida State had their time, and then Miami had his time. But now it's like, it left Florida, so now who's gonna be that force in the state of Florida to take
Mm-hmm.
over? We thought it was Miami at one point,
Yeah,
and then they kind of went off. So
yeah,
I think Florida State has a chance right now to reclaim that dominance, but they
for
gotta
sure.
they gotta hit the gas now. You gotta strike while the iron's hot, because
Oh
miss
man,
it. If you
ooh,
miss
I
it, you
like
might
that.
not get it back for a
Yeah.
while. So
Mhm.
yeah. So I definitely love to see that.
Yeah, and it's good you say that, man, because there are quite a few states that go crazy with recruiting, with Florida being one of them. I mean, you got Texas, California, Georgia, Alabama. Man, I mean, those are really some solid states that you get when you get like some true athletes, just to
Right.
say the least. But there are definitely other states that have that quality of quarterbacks, or not even just quarterbacks. I mean, athletes all around. I mean, your O line, I mean, your defense, all that. I
Mm.
mean, they're in those states that I just named for sure.
Yeah,
So,
and they say where you get your speed from.
oh, what, Florida?
State of Florida.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm
So,
from Georgia, but I know that. I done met a lot of
yeah.
people from Florida. They
Mm-hmm.
like, see, no matter what size they are, they fast.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Big, small, medium, don't matter. But them jokers, they running in the foes.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. But yeah, man, listen, this Clemson team, 2-2 right now, but they actually looked okay. Like they put up a great fight against this Florida State team this past weekend, and it was shocking. It was really shocking to me to see, like, they were struggling very early on, and I mean, you could just see that. I mean, could it have possibly been that they were playing at home? Who knows? But they just really had an effort of, we have to win this game.
I think it could have been a lot of pride too, because
Hmm.
they proved me wrong. Because I
Yeah.
thought Florida State was gonna do their thing, 2 or 3 touchdowns, score,
Hmm.
win or whatever. But Clemson played like they had something to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I think it was. I think I don't want to sound too crazy, but I think sometimes you can kind of play down to your competition a lot,
Hmm.
and then your competition can play you as if you are the giant. Like
Right.
when
Right.
they lost to Duke, I think, not to take anything from Duke, or anything like that, but it's sometimes you kind of take your opponents for granted. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But I think this time, I think they came out with a sense of pride and played up to their competition and said, you know what, we got to get this thing going, get this
For
thing turned
sure.
around.
Yeah.
So, and they played like it. I think,
Hmm.
whenever you have an overtime game, you always look at it like everybody left everything on the field
Yeah,
because So I mean, this is the Clemson that we should have been seeing the last year or two. This is the
absolutely.
old Clemson that grinded out, rugged. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We ain't gonna go nowhere. We ain't going away. So I was glad to see that. I didn't know if I was gonna get that Clemson this weekend, but I'm glad I got to
Yeah,
see that they had that old fire. So it lets me know that they have it. Now
and
we
we could
just don't
definitely
know
be
if they're gonna
seeing it.
show up.
Yeah, we could.
So
Yeah, we could definitely be seeing it later on in the season for sure. Running back play was a little shaky, man. Florida State only had 22 yards of rushing, with Clemson having 146. We saw a lot of big play from Maffa from Clemson, and as well as Will Shipley. Even Cade Klubnik was showing a little, rushing here and there. He had 13 carries with one touchdown. Right at the if I'm not mistaken, they were in the red zone, and he was able to get one in. But man, Florida State struggled, like
yeah,
struggled.
they struggle and find a way to get it done.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Sometimes what you trying to establish might not work.
Hmm.
Like for Clemson, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
They was able to rush, but still it wasn't enough. So I mean,
Hmm.
Florida State was able to find other ways, to make plays.
Yep.
Whether it be defensive, which was I know was big for them. So either way, you find a way to win.
Hmm.
Even if your identity is running or whether it's passing or whatever, you find ways to win. That's the beauty of a team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Figure out. Okay, running backs ain't got it. They figured us out with the running game. That don't mean you stop it. Keep trying, but you get other ways. Players got to make plays.
Hmm.
You don't just draft 5 stars at one position. There's reason that you got 5 stars in every category. It's the
Right.
reason that you pick different players because your superstars got to show up.
Hmm.
Players make plays. So
Right.
I think that was what Florida State experienced in that game. And sometimes you're not gonna have that. Sometimes you're gonna have to do that. So that's what I feel. I mean, I feel like the players they needed to step up stepped up when they were
Oh,
lacking in that specific category. So
okay. Listen, this is gonna be our last hit, our last big topic. But dude, I just want to mention I'm a Keon Coleman experienced believer. This man went absolutely insane for Florida State. Wide out, Keon Coleman, five receptions, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. But man, the catches this guy was making were just insane. And I mean,
mhm.
he came up so clutch for Florida State this past weekend. I just had to I got to give the man props when it's
Players
due.
make plays, my brother.
Players
Player makes
make
plays.
plays. We cannot stress that enough on College Couch. But goodness gracious, this man was unbelievable. I am excited to see more of this young man in the season. Hopefully, he can bring some awards away at the end of the season. But yeah, man, this man was crazy this past weekend. I just had to give him a shout out for sure because
No doubt, no doubt.
oh,
Well
it
deserved,
was
and
it
well
was
earned.
crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so yeah, that's it for that game. God, I, as much as I don't want to talk about this next game, per rule 341 of the College Couch Handbook, yes, there's an actual College Couch Handbook. No, you cannot see it. Um, oh gosh. Jay, let's go to Eugene, Oregon, and discuss what
I'm
occurred.
actually anxious to talk about this game
Oh God. Oh, it was it
cause
was
I think this game was very necessary.
it was necessary, and sometimes you need those. I'm not gonna say humbling moments because,
That's a humbling moment. I mean, it
but
is. It is.
the thing is, I don't feel like this Colorado team is. I mean, you more so would say or use the word humbling if the team was like arrogant. But I just don't sense I
Well,
just don't get arrogant from this Colorado team. Yeah,
well,
they
well.
had a
I mean,
lot
there's a thin line between arrogance and confidence.
for sure.
So
Absolutely, I agree to that.
I see a bit
But
of both.
okay, yeah, I can understand that. But when you have so much, I'll say it this way: it's not their fault for being. If you were to say that they're overly confident or arrogant, it's not their fault. Because
How is
think
it not
about it:
their
this
fault?
when you bring so much star power into a state like into a city and state like Boulder, Colorado, it's only going to bring that overly confident feeling. Dude, you got to think this Colorado team has just sold out their stadium in
And I
over
get
a
that, and I
decade.
get that. So if it was just them selling out games, that's one thing.
Right.
But all the talking, it's
Hmm.
another. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that they didn't get anything from anybody else. You say it's not arrogance, it's confidence, but Shadur, every time he wins a
Hmm.
game, he flashes his Rolex.
Hmm.
So that's arrogance. Well deserved, well
Hmm.
earned. You know what I'm saying? So either way, I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Hmm.
I'm just saying that, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna flex your watch, you're gonna flex your jewelry, you're gonna
Yeah.
flex this, that, and the third. You got to back it up every week. So
Hmm.
when you do that, when you present yourself as arrogant, you have to, or confident or whatever, you have to back it up every week.
Hmm.
Because guess what? Everybody wants your number.
Yeah.
I saw a thing where Dion said everybody wants to beat him. It's not about the team. Well, think about it. Dion created that energy for himself and his team, so they all have to back it up. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, Shadur he's flexing it. You know what I'm saying? That's part of it though. But
Yeah.
football, this is what we do. You lose some, you win some. You know, To arrogant on the field, but
Yeah.
he backed it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all the same thing. So if
Hmm.
that's why I say it was humbling for them, because
For
now they
sure.
see, okay, we've got to we could be ourselves, be arrogant, be confident, but we can't take no days off. We can't, because like you said, it's not, to me, it's not that they were outmatched.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they were ready for what Oregon had, because
Hmm.
this to me is the best offense and best defense they've seen thus far.
Yeah.
You
For sure.
know, don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting none of their wins, because definitely they already are surpassing what they did last year.
Right. Right.
You know, but I think with what they've experienced, they haven't experienced this, and it's not going to get any easier because they got to go to USC this upcoming weekend. So
Ooh.
this
Oh
is
yeah.
what Dion sees it now, and I think
Yeah.
Shadur sees it now. Like, okay, you know, I can talk my junk, but I got to get right. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
So maybe I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I gotta. It's humbling.
Mm.
We have those moments in sports, whether you are on the field, off the field, whatever. You have those moments.
Mm.
And I think they're necessary. It
Yeah.
keeps you hungry, because if you want everything all the time, every time, you wouldn't be hungry.
One
You
hundred
know?
percent. I agree. I agree to that. I mean, brother, you made great points, and I truly agree. But again, I mean, this Colorado team has made so many great strides from last year to this
Yeah,
year.
and that's
I
that's
mean,
accolades. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, brother, 2 weeks ago we just literally sat and watched an entire dang near 4 or 5 hour game between Colorado and Colorado State,
right.
which probably will never happen again,
Well,
ever.
I think as long as Prime is there, I
Well,
think that
as
we
long as
will.
right, as long as Prime there, and maybe next year. But honestly, once this Prime era of at Colorado is over, because who knows? I mean, brother, Colorado may be a thing of the past in the next couple of years or so, but that's neither here nor there. We just sat and watched Colorado and Colorado State play. Not only did we watch it, but I mean they had celebrities there from every caliber that you could think of
Right,
in Boulder, Colorado.
right.
A place that you probably didn't even know of until Dion and his kids
Very
got there.
true. Very true.
So I again the prime effect is a thing. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Bo Nix and Dan Lanning said, "Hey, welcome to Eugene, Oregon.
You
let's
got
tell you how we do things here.
yeah. You. I'm gonna say this. I'm not trying to say who's better or who's not,
Yeah, 100%.
but Bo has played in the
Mm-hmm.
SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Bo has also played in the Pac-12. So Bo has seen
Mm-hmm.
defenses like Georgia, A&M, you know, what, Alabama when they went on their championship run. He beat them.
Yeah.
So he and with a dare I say it, and not as great offensive, you know, cast,
Mm-hmm.
supporting cast. So what I think separating him from that, he's like, whatever you throw at me, I've seen it. Experience. So now Shadur can go back and say, hey, okay, this guy has sat here and did this, that, and the third. You get better from it. It came out his own mouth. You don't look at the things you did well, look at the things you didn't do. And what to
Right.
your point, Dion has definitely. I haven't neglected. I'm not going off the fact that he has made great things happen at Colorado. I'm a Dion supporter. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I know, and I like Shadur. I just you got to know the pressure you put on yourself once you
For sure.
because he know how to sell tickets. He was
Mm-hmm.
like that as a player. He's like that as a coach. Like this is what he does. He's entertaining, and he's gonna sell tickets. He knows how to get the people moving. This is what us football fans want. We want to see what you're gonna do. We want you talk the big game. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
They said that more players should become coaches and be on the college level. Okay, we have that. What are you gonna do? So to your point, he's done a great job. But
Mm-hmm.
now you have to go and back it up. 3 games ain't gonna cut it. 4 games ain't gonna cut it. You got to beat some opponents that are out of this world, maybe even
Yeah.
better than you. So you
Yeah.
gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta find ways to win when there isn't one sometimes. So, I think, like I said, you put a target on your back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they know that. I just
Yeah.
think this
Absolutely.
one,
Absolutely.
this one was kind of the nudge, like, hey, all right, you
Let's
know,
let's let's step it up.
we
Yeah.
we can be beaten. We
Oh,
can be
100%.
beaten.
Yeah.
So, but
And
but
it's
let's yeah.
yeah. And I honestly, dude, again, we saw it coming. The true I have a what's the best way to put it? I have an injustice. It's almost like this. I feel like there is a thing that's happening right now, and
And what's that?
it is centered around Colorado, and it's something that I've been really pondering on in the last few days since this game, and not really since this game, but since the rise of Colorado has happened. There's this big thing of what I call the ring of relevancy. What
Okay.
is the ring of relevancy that you add? What is the ring of relevancy you ask? I feel that there are a lot of individuals and who are just pretty much on the train going to Boulder, Colorado, which is fine. You're supporting Dion. You love Dion when he played. That's cool. But the thing that I have a problem with is we really set expectations a lot or way too high for Colorado. This is Dion's first year. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is Dion's first year in a major conference. Not taking anything away from the SWAC because HBCU football puts out tremendous talent. With some even making it as far as to the NFL, even in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But when you're coming into a conference as well as area where where you're pretty much being put on a different scale from HBCU football, it it's now either you make it in that top four or that top eight, your season is done. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really
Right.
gonna too much pay attention to that bowl game that you're in.
Right.
So now I'm kind of at odds with, are you still going to support when things go bad, or are you only supporting because of the names and big names that are there right now? Because Shiloh's not going to be there forever. Shador's not going to be there forever. Travis is not going to be there forever. All these guys that you see now who are pretty much, pulling the weight of the team, they're not going to be there forever. You know what I'm saying? I
Well,
see that. I see the smile. You got
cause,
something for
cause,
me.
cause, cause it's going back to your first thing you said when you
Mm-hmm.
said you put too much pressure or you put too many expectations on Dion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, for one, I think that Dion put the pressure on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody was talking about it was too much pressure or too many expectations while they were winning.
Mm-hmm.
When they were winning, oh, they won one. Oh, they won
Mm-hmm.
two. Oh, they won three. Now we got the fourth game. You get blown out. Oh, maybe we put too much expectations on you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that, because that's what they want. They want championships. They feel like they can compete with anybody, which,
Mm-hmm.
as you should. But I'm speaking from a fan of the game and a fan of a particular college team.
Mm-hmm.
Not speaking on my college team. I'm just speaking in general. Whenever you have a new coach and it's a big name coach or a coach that's won somewhere, that first year they always, I'm not saying this right, but they always put a ceiling higher than you would for anybody else. Why? Because you're coming in, you making changes. Think about it. Dion came in, he cleaned out his closet, meaning that he cleared the roster, brought 5 stars in, and his own people that he thought were gonna be good. Just like when Saban got there, he cleared his roster, did his thing, and got people and drafted. I mean, not drafted, but recruited people. Kirby Smart, same thing. So let's not forget, like, yes, it's Deion Sanders, and um, you know, first 3 games, everybody was like, "Well, he's doing a phenomenal job turning his team around." But it's Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other NFL player that's coaching that's at the same level as
Yeah.
Deion Sanders. That's just like if Jerry Rice was to come coach. Don't you think that jokers would come and be like,
Yeah.
"I want to play for Jerry Rice"? Or
Mm-hmm.
if Michael Vick was to come coach, I know I would be
Yeah.
somewhere like, say, I'm gonna get my 30-year-old behind out there and say, "Hey, I'm playing for Vick." I'm
Right.
just saying, like, you play for people that you aspire to be.
Mm-hmm.
And what player wouldn't want to be Dion that is a skill player? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even lineman. So
Yeah.
to your point, I get what you're saying. To me, the right thing is to say that's too many expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But we should have said that at the beginning.
Right.
But then when you start winning, we can't dial it back and say, "Hey, okay, y'all have a chance." And then when you lose, it's like, you know. But it's gonna be bandwagon fans, just like Bama has bandwagon fans still, and now they're going away because they don't
They're
seem as
not there.
dominant as they
Yeah.
were before.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, same thing. I mean, every time because I was a bandwagon of USC fan at one point when Reggie Bush was there. I'm not gonna, sugarcoat it, but
Mm-hmm.
you have those fans. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a part of the game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I think Dion and them put pressure on himself to be great because of the media, the attention that they
Yeah.
grasp. And like I said, going back to the Shador flexing it, they put that pressure on themselves because of how they carry themselves,
Right.
which is good. You want that pressure because that makes you strive to be greater than you already are.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, I don't think that the world put the pressure on him. I think Dion put the pressure on himself and his team, and now other teams are like, it's a privilege to beat Dion.
Yeah.
So because it's a privilege for other people to beat Dion, now people are kind of confusing it like that's the team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
No, not right now. I knew it was gonna take some time. I didn't, granted they've been off to a good start. I mean, 3-1 is still not bad, and you
Yeah.
losing to Oregon, which is on fire right now. So you don't. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's humbling because now you have to. Before you had to watch film to figure out things you could fix, but you won those games. Now
Right.
you're trying to figure out things to fix, and you got embarrassed.
Mm.
You know, it's a different type of energy when you watch film and you
Yeah,
lost by a lot because now you don't have time to sit down.
exactly.
You
And
got USC.
yeah, yeah, and no, and you're right about that. And going back to what you just stated about Oregon. Me and you talked, earlier on Saturday, like this past Saturday, and we were saying, dude, this Oregon team. I mean, granted, they look like probably one of the most complete teams in college football right now. Like, not even joking. I mean, Bo Nix went absolutely insane. Yet this past weekend. I mean, Oregon has this running back tandem, and you know me, I love a good running back tandem. Like, I enjoy seeing running backs take over. Bucky Irving, 89 yards. Noah Whittington with 45, and then Jordan James with 54. But in all, brother, they had 240 yards of rushing.
A balanced attack.
Like, bro,
Balanced attack.
bro, that's
You
not
get
even. That's not even. Come on, man. Like, that's not even. Like, I'm mind blown.
the
Like, that's all I can really say right now because that is impressive.
that's
And
very
I mean,
impressive.
we have these teams now that are struggling, and I can't honestly I can't vouch for them anymore, brother. We're about to hit week 5, and a lot of these teams are looking sluggish, like in like the most ugliest way possible. A lot of these teams are on the move really by week 3.
You think about it. Transfer portal. You have a
Hey, hey,
lot of.
hey! Wait! We go talk about it later. Wait! Just
Hey, I
hold
gotta,
on.
I gotta answer what you said. I'm not gonna go into detail about it. I'm just saying about it being sluggish and things
Yeah.
like that. You have the
Uh huh.
transfer portal. The last few teams that have won the championship,
Hmm.
they have been together for at least a year or two. LSU, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, all of them together. Bama, you had name escapes me
Devontae
right now.
Smith and
You got
that
Devontae
those
Smith, you
guys.
got
Yeah.
Najee
Hmm.
Harris, you got what's the quarterback's name? I'm having a
Mac
mind.
Jones, all those, Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts,
Mac Jones. Yeah,
Tua.
Mac
Yeah,
Jones.
all
Right.
those guys. Right.
You
I
got
got
those. They've been together for a
you. Hmm.
while. Then you got Georgia, the two Georgia teams that won back to back, been together for a while.
Yeah.
Now you have teams that are transfer portal teams, and a lot of the starters are transfer portal teams. You don't have that cohesiveness just
Hmm.
yet. Why?
Right.
Because they've only played together for
Hmm.
X amount of time. So that's what I was gonna say about that. I wasn't gonna dive too
Yeah,
deep.
yeah,
It's a
because
lot I could
and,
talk
and you
about
know
in that,
what,
but
and that's why too, and I was probably playing a little bit of devil's advocate earlier, but I will definitely say that about this Colorado team for them to be 3-1, and they're playing well.
right,
I'm not going to take anything away from this Colorado team. They're playing well. Just give them an extra year, and I think things will probably
bro.
turn around because
Agreed,
there's
agreed.
still struggles, and I definitely want to talk about the struggles going on. And Shadur even pointed out in his press game conference, he said, "Man, I'm holding the ball too long." But the biggest thing is that O line. My goodness, I went back and just watched highlights today earlier on, and bro, it's horrible. That O line is not
Well,
good. It's not.
I want to say they're not like I want to say they're not good. I won't say they're not good because you have to think about it too. Okay, your line could be good, but they can only hold so long.
Correct.
So I'm not saying that they're greatest. I'm not saying that they superstar. I'm not saying that. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is you can't just blame the line if you
Right.
got a player holding the ball forever. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah,
you can't.
but
But you as because as somebody that played quarterback once upon a time ago in the Stone Age, uh, my line will hold up, but
Mhm.
at the same time, if I didn't get the ball out in a certain amount of time, you know, I got to start moving. If I don't
Right.
start moving, then
Yeah.
but you're taught a lot of times to sit in the pocket. Sometimes you have to take that hit. But if you're holding the ball for so long, you got to think about it. Who's coming at these players? You got jokers running four fours and 4 5s. They 6'6"
Yeah.
they're big and they're strong. You
Hmm.
can only hold for so long, and
For
then
sure.
you don't want to get a penalty. So
Hmm.
it's. I'm not saying that the line did great. I'm not saying they did it good, but I'm saying that you have to look at all factors
One
because
hundred percent. Yes.
because as a lineman you have to hold your block. You're taught to hold your block, and
Hmm.
then when quarterback starts scrambling, it's hard. Like so in the same respect, I mean I don't because the first week they did phenomenal. You know,
Right.
Shadur didn't get hit. Second week they still did good with Nebraska
Hmm.
in the second half. You know,
Yes.
third week, it was a little struggle because Colorado was playing them tough, but
Yeah.
Shadur still didn't get sacked that many times.
Hmm.
But now you have a better team,
Right.
harder. So it's
Well,
a matter, it's a mixture of everything. I think.
brother, and yes, yes. But hear me out. You want to you do you want to know how many sacks
I
that
know
should
how
do it?
many sacks he had. I want to know.
15,
I know. I
15.
mean, I
And
know how
then
many sacks he had.
on Saturday he got sacked 7 times. So we're looking at Shador has been sacked roughly around 20 something times already this season, and we're going into week 5. So
I
hear me out.
still say there's no excuse.
I know, and agreed, agreed. But for Shador to go ahead and point out, that he's struggling, as far as trying to hold on to the ball, not as much, and make smart plays as far as throwing it out, or trying to pretty much divert into other ways into making sure they get those yards. But bro, I mean, this is something that can't be swept under the rug anymore. This isn't, what I'm saying, when you ain't supposed to be getting that cereal after your mom told you to go to bed, what I'm saying, it can't, and you done spilled your cereal, what I'm saying, it can't be swept under the rug, brother. And I mean, this is an issue even Colorado's Governor Jared Polis knows about,
Well,
that they
if you
struggling
go
on that O line.
if we gonna talk about issues, let's talk about issues then.
Okay,
That defense, terrible,
I
terrible,
agree, I agree,
terrible.
I
You
agree.
can't not even just Saturday,
Hmm.
terrible. Cause
Yeah,
I said it first week when they played TCU, you let a team score dang near 40 points on you. You know, you got away with it with Nebraska because they shot themselves in the foot. We're not gonna
yeah.
name no names, but they shot themselves in the foot.
Hmm.
And then you let a Colorado State team that's not supposed to even compete with you.
Yeah,
So you can't just blame. You're not gonna just blame the line, the offensive line,
yeah.
which is
No, I listen.
you know.
I
So
100%
you
agree.
say stuff that needs to be addressed. Defense need to be addressed.
Yep.
You got people getting exposed when you got a DB as a coach.
Hmm.
It's not gonna. It's no. This is not good. So, but to Dion's credit, he has said multiple times that they're 7 or 8 players away from being great,
Hmm.
and I totally agree with that. You missing some linemen, you missing some defensive linemen, linebackers, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
But at the same respect, your point very valid. He should not
mhm,
be getting hit that many times.
yeah.
But also, I think these are kids too. So also, as a coordinator, you have to see that he has no time, or you have to see that he's holding the ball too long.
Mhm,
You have to adjust. And what do? Quick passes,
mhm.
slants, screen passes, different things to shake it up to get the ball out of Shadur's hands. To two, keep him from being on the ground because you're getting the ball out so fast. Like prime example, Drew Brees when his line was hurt, what did they do? Quick passes over the middle, quick screen out here, this, that, and the third, just to set up something to get the ball moving. Because
Yeah.
you got one of the fastest players in the nation as a running back.
Mhm.
You know, your receivers are balling; they can run slants all day. But I'm not. But you have to see that and adjust. That's my
Yeah.
point I'm getting to.
For
You know.
sure. For sure.
So
Agreed. Agreed. Well, hey, listen, we can stay on this game all night, but we got we got to move on for time restraint. Listen, hey, you know how me and you get. Ole Miss, Ole Miss and Alabama. My goodness. Hey man, this game it started off a little rocky for Alabama early on.
Shaky, very shaky.
Hey, Ole Miss was leading. What was it about 7-3, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Well, they were leading 7-3 in the first, and then 7-6 at by the half. But of course, like we know, this Alabama team, they just something just like Georgia, something is being said by Nick Saban in that locker room. In that second half, they come out and they play to their full potential, come away with the win. But the biggest thing is our boy Jalen Milroe comes
I
back
was
as a
just
starter.
I was about to say that. I don't even think
Jalen,
Saban said anything. I really don't.
yeah,
I really don't.
mhm.
I think because they had the players only meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
So
earlier, yeah, earlier last
I
week.
think it was the players because even the, I am not by no means. I want to get this clear. By no means am I a Bama fan at all. I want to get this clear. But the thing that I love about the culture of Bama is
Uh-huh.
that they hold their teams of past, teams of new, teams of present accountable.
Hmm.
I love that. You say they call. I saw a lot of players calling out the new players, the current roster, saying this team has no heart,
Hmm.
and I love that because you have a sense of pride about your college, your university. You saying we won this because we didn't want to lose to anybody. We played for that A on our chest. We played for the person next to us, and I love that. So I don't think it was Saban this time.
Hmm.
Most times it is, but I don't think it was Saban
Yeah,
because I think because Jalen Miro even turned it around second half,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and and um and the defense was outstanding second
Hmm.
half. So I think it
Yeah,
was Jalen Miro.
which is
Congrats
which
to
is
them.
which is definitely a Alabama thing. I mean, brother, one thing about Alabama is that defense is going to hold up regardless. I mean, brother, it has been times where these teams have played against Alabama, and I'm like, they're not going to last. That offense is not going to last. And I mean, it's like every what's the word I want to use? Every rotation that they have of players, their A team or their B team, the sub players, all of them are going to put up what they need to in order to keep that game alive. And so, once again, I mean, it was great. It was a great game. Jace McCullen, 105 for a touchdown. I mean, Jackson Dart played. Oh, he played well. I'll say that he played well. 20 for 35, 244 yards. Um, pretty cut and dry game here. Nothing too out of the way. I think a lot of people expected Alabama to come out of this game. I mean, again, bro, Bryant Denny Stadium, nothing more, nothing less. I mean, hey,
Yeah, I
point
mean it was
point blank
very much
period,
so
brother.
couldn't dry. I mean I think that Dart is definitely playing
Yes.
better. I
Hmm.
think that he is learning to sit in the pocket. He has a tight spiral on the ball. He's leading his players very
Yeah.
well. Um, I just think that Alabama wanted it more.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
plain
Absolutely.
and simple.
Hmm.
I don't think that Bama was more talented than Ole Miss. I just think that Ole Miss didn't want it as bad.
Yeah.
Like based off of how they played. I mean, mentally they could have
Yeah.
wanted it bad, but I think that Bama came out second half and they wanted it more. And
Hmm.
you know when you play Saban and Bama, regardless of what they look like, you got to play all four quarters and you got to play
Hmm.
hungry.
Yeah.
You know, and if you got the lead on it, you better go and take it. You
One
know,
hundred
you better go
percent.
on, run it up, do whatever you're gonna do because they coming.
Yeah.
They're gonna figure something out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that like I said, players made plays. I think Dart still makes plays here and there. He's gotten better. But I just think Bama wanted it more.
For sure. Absolutely. Hey, last game of the night, Ohio State Notre Dame, brother. This is a game that
What a
everybody
game!
was we were looking forward to it. Close game. Oh my goodness, brother. This game ended ended in a 3-point differential, brother. 17-14. Let me just put this out here too. Sam Hartman, stud. We watched the Notre Dame Navy game week 1. Well, no, week 0. We watched the game week 0 between them two, and I mean, of course, it's Navy, but he showed early signs of actually being in the Heisman talks. And I mean, brother, he looks like a solid, I mean, solid QB this year. And I'm a huge Sam Hartman fan for sure, 100%. Just wanted to put that out there. But on the other side of the ball, Kyle McCord, brother, Kyle McCord went 240, 240. That's
With less
man.
experience too.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not
Kyle
forget
McCord.
that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, what sitting behind CJ Stroud, you know what I'm saying? There again, I just if I could just be a fly on the wall to just hear the conversations that these guys who are about to head out, and go to the draft and what they tell their backups and cuz I mean for him to put up numbers like that, that's brother, that's incredible.
Right.
And I mean in a Notre Dame environment, we talking over there where touchdown Jesus is.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
and it doesn't help to have. I mean, it does help to have Marvin Harrison Jr. too.
oh man,
That's
he went, he did his thing. He did his thing. I think if I'm not mistaken, he got hurt. I don't know if he returned.
he came back and
Yeah, yeah,
he was kind of in and out after he
hmm
got hurt, but
yeah.
you know
But that's another. A lot of people don't talk about. Dude, I'm about to butcher this man's name. Emeka Abuka, Emeka Abuka, wideout, and Marvin
yep.
Harrison
I was
Jr.
just about to. You read my mind.
Bro, listen, I was blessed enough to experience the Peach Bowl in person, sideline, and man, oh brother, I mean, that game was just insane to just see the route running that Marvin Harrison and Abuka, like what they're capable of is second to none. And I mean, brother, they are going to terrorize not only the rest of the season, but when they get in the draft, when they actually declare for the draft, oh, teams
They're
better
gonna be
be
beat.
on their yeah, teams better
And
be onto them.
I definitely agree.
hmm Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was great. But man, this game ended a little wild though. I'm not gonna lie to
I
you.
I think that they are so that both of those teams are so evenly matched
Mhm.
is scary.
Yeah, yeah,
I think like it literally came because I mean offense did what it needed to do for Notre
mhm,
Dame and defense was doing what it needed to do. It just couldn't get off the field at that last drive. I
yeah,
mean, so I think I think they capitalized on each other well. I think they
yeah.
battled. I don't I honestly it just came to who had the ball last, in my opinion.
That's exactly what it was. And I mean,
You know,
for that game, a game of inches was literally what that game entailed. That
right,
game
right.
ended in a game of inches, literally ending in at the goal line. And I mean, it was really like still to me, I still couldn't tell you if he was in or not. That's just me.
Yeah, but you know, whatever they called on the field is what's going.
That's
You
hey,
know,
you got to rock out with it. So,
right,
but yeah,
right.
but great game, dude. Still looking forward to seeing what Ohio State and Notre Dame have in
That
store for the rest of the season.
to me, that
Um,
was the best game
yeah,
of
yeah,
Saturday, and it
yeah.
lived up to the hype.
hmm
One of the best games in my opinion this season, with as far as people leaving it on the field.
Oh yeah,
That's
oh yeah,
you
oh yeah.
know,
Excited to again, excited to see what the rest of these guys have in store for the rest of the season. But hey, let's get into some talks right now, brother. So I'm gonna call this the stand 10 toes portion of the show. So I
ten
put out
toes
something
down.
10 toes down, and I mean I'm standing extremely down, and it's crazy because I had a lot of people reach out to me about this too. I'm ready to put my chips in, buddy. Michael Penix Jr., quarterback of Washington. I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm sold. And I don't want to. I don't care about what injuries he may have had. I don't care about his time during Indiana. I don't care about none of it. This quarterback that we're seeing now is more than likely going to win the Heisman this year. if he keeps up the play that he's playing right now, he is going to win the Heisman. This man already has over 1,600 yards, which is over reigning Heisman winner Caleb Williams right now, who has 1,200. Uh, what about 15 touchdowns, if I'm correct? Sorry, 16 touchdowns, and his QBR over 90, 93.7 to be exact. The man is going insane right now. And not only does he have 1,600 yards, but he's leading the NCAA in passing yards right now.
Yeah, and I think he's a beast. I
Yeah,
think he's phenomenal. I think
yeah,
he's playing great football right now.
yeah.
He should be
He,
on everybody's list.
oh, 100%. If
But
he's not, yeah, if he's not, you're
like
crazy.
I always say, sustain, sustain,
Mm-hmm,
sustain, sustain, sustain.
mm-hmm,
Can he keep this pace up? Is my question. If he can keep this pace up,
mm-hmm.
by no means should he lose the Heisman.
100%.
But now, what is he gonna do now that people are paying attention?
Mm-hmm,
The first 4 games, people are still kind of figuring it out.
mm-hmm,
Like, oh, okay, oh, he had a good game here, okay, whatever. Now people are starting to pay attention and say his name.
mm-hmm.
He's got the light on him now. So when the lights are
Yeah,
shining, what you gonna do?
yeah,
And if
yeah,
he keeps balling like he's been balling, I see no ceiling for this young man. I don't think the bar is set indefinitely.
yeah, yeah.
But he has to sustain it. He
Mm-hmm,
has to be able to maintain the rest of the season and
mm-hmm,
continue to be better every game and continue climbing up this ladder because we've we've seen this before. Like as
mm-hmm.
far as people having great starts to their season, and dipping. Like prime example, we was talking about Shador earlier. His season start was beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but when he hit that brick wall, now it's like, all right,
It's starting to look
he's
stagnant.
human.
Yeah.
He's
Mm-hmm.
human. So I mean, I think if he can sustain that, I think it's clear cut. There's
Yeah.
nobody else that would beat him.
I mean, brother, I don't think I've ever seen a completion percentage as insane as this one. The previous 4 games have been over 70%. I mean, brother, his passing yards. This of course the last game he went 300, but the first 3 games over 400 yards.
Yeah,
Are we serious right now?
he
Like
playing with a chip on his
if
shoulder.
this man if this I was literally watching some of his draft profiles earlier, and I mean people have already compared him. He has the size of Deshaun Watson, but I mean the arm strength of Russell Wilson because of his elite ball placement. The man can. I mean he can throw.
Yeah,
He can
it,
throw.
it is very difficult to throw that deep ball and put it precisely where
I
you
mean
want it to
on
go.
the money. And to go 70% every game, that means you are complete. The man is I'm sold. Michael Penix Jr. Mark it down. Listen, if he doesn't win, it's gonna be a sad day on the College Couch podcast.
Well, it won't be a sad day for me
It's gonna
because
be a sad day for me because I'm
if
putting my chips in
it
on this
it
brother.
would only be a sad day for me if he sustains this same level and he doesn't win it.
For sure,
But
one
if
hundred
he does
percent.
not, if he falls off, if he even dips for a
Mhm.
little bit,
Yeah,
it's not gonna surprise me that he doesn't win it.
100%.
You
But
know,
I still, again, don't want to take anything away from Caleb Williams because you know what's crazy? They still have to play each other this year on November 4th in at USC to be exact. So, definitely going to be a matchup to watch. I mean, brother, this game is going to pretty much put all the implications on the line. Who's the better quarterback, as well as who may sneak out with the Heisman come January, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when it is in January. So, but yeah, hey, listen, let's go ahead and wrap right here, brother. We again, this is back to the conversation that we've been having earlier in the week, and I kind of want to put it in the terms of: do we feel that the transfer portal and NIL is taken away from college football as we know it today?
I think when used correctly,
Mm.
no.
Okay.
But in the same breath, yes. Meaning, when I say when used correctly, meaning you plug up little holes in your defense, because it gives you depth, you know. But in the same respect, when you have to completely build your team in the transfer portal, yes, you. I'm not saying that you can't be great that first year. I'm not saying that, but you lose that cohesiveness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why if you notice, like a lot of teams catch up later.
Mm-hmm.
Like LSU last year, they caught up later, and then they started filling out and say, okay, we can do some things.
Yeah.
Like the cohesiveness is gonna be there, because it's football.
You're right.
Everybody shares that love, so that's cohesive in itself. But when you have players that's never played with each other,
Mm-hmm.
players that don't know anybody's tendencies, they're already learning the coach. So when you don't have that, you lose a lot of that cohesiveness, and I think that's very important. So I think the transfer portal, in some ways is good, but in a lot of ways it still is a struggle because
Mm-hmm.
the team that they left, it hurts them.
Yeah.
It can either hurt or help them, but it's a big risk.
Yeah.
The team that regained, it can help, but in the same breath, you kind of putting pieces together, hoping that they
Yeah.
fit. Like, yes, you can be a good DB. Yes, you can be a good linebacker, but do you play well with the other people that are on the team? Because DBs got to know what everybody's going to be at, and then the linebackers have to know what the D line is doing. They have to know everybody on the field. You have to know each other's tendencies. Like, I use this example all the time. Georgia Bulldogs that first year. N'Kobe Dean being a leader for that. He knew where everybody was supposed to be at. And everybody knew where he was supposed to be at. They looked to him. You know what I'm saying? And because they had been together for several years, learning each other. So he knew that he can chew this person out and they would go be a dog for him. No pun intended. So I think that it's kind of hit and miss with the
Yeah.
portal, but NIL did completely ruining college football. No doubt about it. Just being honest.
Well, and I agree with you on that because I'll go back to pretty much. I mean, this man who I'm about to name. I mean, he has pretty much said, "I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to even touch with it." Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney. I mean, took 0 players from the portal. Has openly said he truly hates that NIL is even a thing because it you're not playing for the money. You're playing for the love of the game, And do I agree with him here and there? Somewhat, but at the same time, I feel that when you have a player like, again, naming Travis Hunter for instance, I mean, you got studs that come in like this, and they just they have that raw talent that you're again generational talent. I feel like they should be compensated to a minimum. Don't don't
Yeah.
give them don't give them all these millions of dollars because we also talk and I'm gonna keep it brief here because we got to wrap. Um, we were saying would that possibly take away their chances of even wanting to play in the pros? And me and you both said no, that wouldn't take away from playing in the pros because you still want to live out that dream of playing professional football
Right.
and you
And
still want to be
but
yeah.
NIL, I think for me in football
Hmm.
and men's basketball is you should have less.
Hmm.
For women's basketball, because they make so little in the
Hmm.
WNBA, it's perfect for them.
Yeah.
Because Angel Reese
Hmm.
didn't want to go to the league. Why would I go to the league? I'm making millions, and the
Right,
highest
right.
check in the league is $250,000.
Hmm.
So for them, I completely understand.
Yeah.
But for a college kid and you trying to get to the NFL, that's your goal.
Right, right.
And when you choose a college, you go off of culture and you go to get to learn how to be a professional football player. So I
Yeah.
personally think that players are going into it now just looking at dollar signs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guy came to Dion and said, "Hey, I want to talk business. What a business?" He said, "Okay, I can't recruit you, brother. Have a
Yeah.
nice day." Which
Yep.
I completely agree with. But
Mm-hmm.
that's my take on it. You know,
Hey, and you couldn't have said it better, brother. Listen, we about to hit an out. We got to get up out of here.
we
Listen,
got some
thank
bills to
y'all.
pay. All right,
Right. Listen, thank y'all for watching this episode. We truly appreciate it. Listen, we could not do it without y'all. And listen, we thank God for allowing us the opportunity to be able to talk sports with y'all. Listen, this is our lifelong dream of just years of bantering, going at it about college sports. So for us to be able to live out our dream and our passion in front of you guys, it's a crazy. I mean, this is beyond our wildest dreams. So thank y'all for the support and love. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms. Listen, we only going bigger and bigger from here, y'all. And hope, Jay, listen, we got to tell them secret location next week coming up. I'm not going to tell them where it is, but we are going to be doing a lot of fun stuff.
face to face next week.
Oh,
Beautiful things,
100% in the
beautiful things
same
coming.
location, the same location.
Stay tuned. Stay
Listen,
tuned.
y'all can't miss it. Y'all do not want to miss it.
Hey,
Hey,
tune in, like, comment, share what you want us to say, talk about. If you're playing sports and you think you that deal, come talk to us.
reach
You know,
out.
we got you. We got
Yes,
bills to
sir.
pay. We
Yes,
holla
yes,
at you.
yes.
Huh?
Hey, thank y'all. This has been another episode of College Podcast. Peace.
Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta.